Most people think you need to quit your job in order to build wealth online. I've made over $642,000 while working full time as an engineer. And even if I were to lose it all today, I could rebuild to five to $10,000 per month in 90 days without quitting my job. Here's my exact step-by-step system that works even if you're busy, even if you don't know what you teach or sell, and even if you've tried and failed before. My name is Mohammed Keita, and I've built a digital products business that's made over $642,000. And I know what you might be thinking. This is another social media guru, business entrepreneur type telling you to quit your job and follow your dreams, go all in on business. That is not me at all. I'm the furthest from that. But let me tell you why. So, my background is probably different from a lot of people you might see online. I'm a first generation American. My parents immigrated from Mali, West Africa in the 90s, and we didn't really have a lot growing up. Okay. My parents, they gave me the most important things in life. We just didn't have much money, to be honest. I'm keeping it real. All right. I grew up in the same apartment for 17 years of my life, and we had every infestation you could think of. I'm talking mice, roaches, and the roaches were pretty bad. We had ants. It was just an old apartment, and you can't control how other people live, and we were affected by that. I shared the same bedroom with my two younger brothers up until I left for college. So when I finally started making $30,000 per month with my digital products business, I understood something that a lot of other entrepreneurs or business types online don't, and that is security comes first and then build wealth on top. So I'm not here to tell you to take stupid risks or anything like that. I am here to tell you to use social media, use digital products to build real wealth on top of a solid foundation. And I'm also here to tell you that if I can do this, you truly can do this too. And you might hear that a lot. All right, that's a cliche, but as we go through this, I want you to know more about me, and I think it'll help you truly believe that you can do it too. Now, before I give you the exact steps, I just want to address some excuses that are probably running through your head right now. Number one, I don't got time. I'm not trying to hear that, to be honest. When I first started selling digital products, I was working three jobs, 80 hours a week. I had my full time 9 to 5 engineering job. I was delivering groceries via shipped Monday through Friday after my 9 to 5 for 2 to 3 hours a day. And then on the weekends, I was working at Zara, the clothing store, for 6 to 8 hours on Saturday and Sunday. So 80 hours a week. But then when I was able to get my digital products business up and going, I was only spending 6 to 8 hours a week and making $30,000 per month. Okay. I know you spend more than 6 hours a week scrolling on TikTok and Instagram and watching Netflix movies and shows. Okay. You have 6 to 8 hours a week to build this business. And the best thing about it is that it's worth it. The second biggest excuse I hear is I don't know what to sell. I never thought I was going to be an entrepreneur. I never thought I'd have a business. I was the quiet kid that stuttered. I still stutter now, that got good grades and thought I would be an engineer for life and retire at 70. That's what I thought. I never thought I'd have anything to sell or teach people. But if you follow my Instagram, you know that I got into selling products online because I started a vending machine business and I was able to scale it to $5,000 to $10,000 per month. People would always ask me and want to learn how I did it. I wasn't a marketing genius. I wasn't, the best writer in the world or anything like that. But I had information that people wanted to know about, and I created a product around that, right? And I'm sure you know more about a particular topic than millions of people on the planet. I'm 100% certain. Start with your job. Start with any struggles you've overcome. Start with your hobbies. That's your starting point. Another excuse I hear a lot is I'm not tech savvy. Okay. For the first 2 years of my business, I did everything on a cracked old iPhone. I didn't even have a laptop. I didn't buy a laptop until I had already sold over $100,000 in digital products. Okay. You don't need any fancy tech. You don't need a mic. You don't need a fancy camera. You don't need a laptop. All you need is a smartphone and Wi-Fi. That's literally it. If you scroll down on my Instagram page, you'll see some of the first graphics and pieces of content that I made. I use Canva, and the graphics look like a 12-year-old made them. Honestly, they weren't fancy at all. I'm not the most creative or artistic person. You don't need to be any of that. You don't need to be super tech savvy in order to have success. I was making $30,000 per month in my bed with a cracked iPhone. Okay. You don't need to be tech savvy. You don't need all the gadgets in the world. Okay. Just get started. Stop overthinking. And then, just for any other excuse you could possibly think of, let me just share more about who I am. So you don't think I'm just some guy that is telling you your struggles don't matter. Okay. And that you can do it no matter what. Let me tell you about some of my own struggles and why I'm here, why I do this. Like I said, my mom always instilled into me that I needed to work hard because I would need to take care of my parents and my own family. She always told me that. When I was a junior in college, my mom actually had a major stroke. She was hospitalized for almost a month. That was in 2017. She still hasn't worked to this day full time. Um, and later that same year, 2017, a day before I was set to go back to college in August, we got a knock on our door, and police were telling us that we were evicted. We were getting evicted and that we needed to move everything out in 12 hours at noon. So we dropped everything, got a U-Haul, took as much stuff into the U-Haul and to a storage unit as we could, and we left countless memories in our apartment, the same apartment I had lived in for 17 years, right? And we just had to move on, right? So since then, I've always known that I truly would need to financially provide for my family. Even when I graduated and got a job, I made sure the job was near my parents because I would need to live at home in order to spend money on their rent, food, electric bills, whatever else, right? I knew I had to provide. So if I was able to win with digital products and create a digital products business with these type of circumstances, you can too. I'm not somebody that had a silver spoon that's telling you, yo, it's possible. I'm somebody that truly had to make it work and was able to make it work. And I'm telling you that even if you don't have those circumstances, like, you really can do this. Digital products really changed my life, and it truly can change your life. 100% believe that. All right, let's get into it. Here's exactly what I do starting today from zero. Step one, you want to pick your lane based on what you already know. Okay. Don't try to pick something that you don't know anything about. Don't try to become an expert on something overnight. Pick something that you're passionate about, that you know a lot about, that you can teach others, something that's valuable to others. Again, for me, it was vending machines. If you follow me on Instagram, that was something that I was doing. I was actually doing. It was something that I found some success in, and something that people were asking me about daily. People in my personal life, people online. That was something that was valuable to people. The three biggest markets are teaching people how to make money or build wealth, teach people how to get healthy, and teach people how to be more successful in relationships. I chose to teach people how to build wealth because that's something that I'm very passionate about, because I didn't come from that, and I want that to be the story of my future family. Uh, but all those topics are very popular online, and there's a wide market for those. But no matter what you choose, pick something where you can give value immediately. Okay, step two, create one simple product in 1 week. Again, do not overthink this. Don't spend weeks on the ebook or whatever you're making. For me, it was a vending machine ebook. I wrote it in one night. It was 15 pages. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't pretty, but it solved people's problems. It was valuable to people. Okay. Here's what you do. You write down 10 questions, and it's even better if you can get 10 questions from other people and see what questions are frequently showing up, what questions overlap. You want to answer those questions and turn into either a PDF guide, a video course, or a step-by-step system. The most important thing is that it solves their problem. The best thing about it too is that you can make it once and sell it forever. And by the way, if you want to see all the behind the scenes on how I built my digital products business while working 80-hour weeks, follow me on Instagram at Mohammed Keita HQ. I go over real numbers and post my day-to-day processes there daily. But let me get back to these steps. All right, step three, you want to validate your idea with the pre-sale before you even finish the product. Okay, this is key. I use a website called gumroad.com to create a pre-sale page for my vending machine ebook before it was even finished. I listed it for $5, and when I posted about it on Instagram, I only had 800 followers, but I was able to get 200 sales in less than a week. Okay, that told me that there was demand for this. But the good thing about this strategy is that even if you don't get people to purchase your pre-sale, that just saved you a week's worth of work on creating a project that people weren't going to buy. Okay, so this is very key. All right, step four, building your content system. Okay, I recommend posting 3 to 4 times per day, especially in the beginning. You want to post different types of content. Okay, the first type is educational content. This is content that teaches your audience something, that gives them information, that gives them value. This is probably your most important type of content. Next, you have your inspirational content. This is your content that motivates your followers to take action. And then your last type of content is entertainment. This could be funny stuff. This could be stuff about your personal life, stuff about your family, about yourself, anything. This is more so entertaining, not necessarily giving too much value, but helping to build trust between you and your audience. I'd batch all my content on Saturdays and Sundays. You really only need to spend 2 to 3 hours to create all the content you need for the next week. And here's a secret: after you've done this for about 2 to 3 weeks, you can start to repost your good content. Okay. Most of the time, majority of your followers won't see what you post. So it's important to repost so that they can see the good content you've made. And then you don't have to do as much work creating brand new content every weekend. Okay, step five, scale through systems and not more hours. Once I hit $7,000 my first month, I immediately started to automate DM replies, comment replies. I also created a newsletter, an email newsletter, and sent out automated emails to folks there so I could get more sales there. Another important thing that helped me scale were automated upsells. So what this is when somebody purchases one of your main products and then gets automated messages asking them if they want to buy 1 or 2 or 3 other products. So for example, when folks would buy my vending machine ebook, they would get automated messages asking if they wanted to buy 2 or 3 of my other products. For example, vending document bundles that had templates of contracts and other documents you need when you're starting a vending machine business. Again, the goal isn't to work more hours or create a new job for yourself with your digital products business. The goal is to systematize as much as you possibly can in order to make more money with less time. While I was making $30,000 per month, I was only spending 6 to 8 hours per week. All right, you made it. Step six, you want to reinvest everything in your first year. Okay, this is where most people mess up. Once they make their first $5,000 or $10,000 per month, they upgrade their lifestyle immediately. Okay, they try to find the newest, nicest high-rise apartment. They lease a brand new car. They buy the new clothes. They take a trip left and right. Okay, that's where you go wrong. You want to stay down. You want to stay in your business. You want to have the money to be flexible, but most importantly, you want to take majority of that profit and invest for the long term. That's how you truly build wealth. Again, I'm not here to teach you guys how to live a flashy lifestyle. I'm here to talk about how to actually build wealth. I made over $30,000 per month for nearly 3 years straight in my early 20s, mind you, and I invested nearly all of it. I live super simply, and to this day, I still drive my beat up but paid off 2006 Chevy Cobalt. That discipline is why I'm 29 years old today with a $500,000 net worth and an investment property. All right. You've got to build wealth first and then enjoy it later. So that's exactly how I'd rebuild to $10,000 per month with digital products in 90 days without quitting my job. So now you have 1 or 2 options. Okay. Option one is to use everything I just showed you, try it out yourself. You may succeed, or you might join the 95% that start but never finish. Option two is to follow me on Instagram in the description below, where I share my real behind the scenes, actual numbers, and my day-to-day processes that work. Okay, I post daily content about how all of this stuff works. Hit subscribe if this helped. Please drop a comment with your biggest questions about starting your digital products business, and I'll see you in the next video.